great podcasts.
Hey, listener. This is Venice, and you're listening to Voice from the Underground, hosted by
Big Hat, you know what I'm saying, and Judge.
If this is your first time listening, here's a little insight.
They be fighting the power, talking about social issues, politics, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, but they be keeping it fun with the sports, music, comics, and movies too.
If you like what you hear, leave us a rating and share our show with your friends.
You know what I'm saying? We on Twitter at VFU Podcast. So you can find them. So check one, too. This is Flavor Flav for the Underground Podcast. Yeah, boy.
Welcome to the Underground.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Voice from the Underground, the podcast where politics and pop culture collide. It is I, Jason Dutch, and I am here with the darkest of all dark nights, the myth, the legend.
I believe you've met my fitness consigliere.
Big Hussein. What's happening, Big Hamas?
What's going on? How's everybody doing out there in podcast land?
Yeah.
Very happy to be coming to you live and direct.
What's that?
What's going on, y'all?
And straight back from impersonating MAGA at the Capitol building, we have Mickey and Tifa. Congratulations on the assault.
Well, when she said nothing can stop us, I took that personally.
That shit was funny.
That's my favorite meme.
Well, there's so okay. So we're gonna have so much fun here tonight. I gotta find that video again, but there's this video of this girl who got pepper sprayed, and she's like, "What? We're storming the Capitol. It's a revolution.
A revolution.
Why'd they pepper spray you? Because we're storming the Capitol. Have fun storming the castle." A little line from Princess Bride. Always one of my favorites.
It always finds its way in, huh?
It always fits so well. So have fun storming the Capitol. All right. So we're going to get right into it today. Listener, first and foremost, if you are new to the show, you're watching on YouTube, whack that subscribe button for us and whack again after the show is over.
You got to wait at least half an hour before you get that second whack in.
Well, 30 minutes.
What the hell
after
wrong
a meal,
with you, man? You better get on some supplements.
You better get just wait 30 minutes before you go into the water and then subscribe to this show. But subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitch if you would care to do that at twitch.tv/VFU podcast. And just another real quick before we get into the fun, we are having some relatively serious discussions right now. We were supposed to have some more serious discussions, but we're not done with them because Haas didn't show up to the chat. But we're going to be this podcast is probably going to be called something else soon. So we are. This, I believe, will be episode 198 and possibly 199, depending on how long it is when it's done. Which means we're going to be at episode number 200.
200.
At the very latest by next week. And I'm of the mind right now that 200 will be the last show as Voice from the Underground. Now, Voice from the Underground is not going anywhere. It's still going to be the overarching, media company, so to speak. But we're going to come up with a different name to try to generate some more traffic and fool people into thinking that we know what we're doing.
Dutch is trash.
Yes, Dutch is Trash is coming live to a theater.
Why Dutch is wrong?
You.
The podcast.
There's many podcasts about that.
Sounds good.
Why Dutch sucks balls.
The Kill Dutch podcast.
Please do. I mean, take me out of my misery. It's like we sit there and we talk about how bad 2020 was. Let me tell you what, 2021 is starting out like, hey, motherfucker, what you got?
You ain't seen shit yet.
Yeah, 2021 ain't got nothing on me. What's that?
Those are leftovers from 2020 that they still had in the fridge. Like, nah, you eating this first before you start ordering new food. You finna finish these leftovers first.
Yeah, we probably should have thought about the fact that Inauguration Day will be either the beginning of a new era or the end of the democracy as we know it, because we'll spiral into civil war that afternoon. So as many of you saw, Mikey and I were on the other day talking about the Capitol as it was happening. Thank you to Mark Phillips for joining us for that. But today we're going to be talking about some reactions. So I have a few clips that I'm going to play for you guys, and we'll just kind of give our reactions to those. The first thing, though, I just want to play is when it comes to MAGA, just remember,
They are who we thought they were.
am I right or am I wrong?
I know what you're talking about. And anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go on with your chlorophyll.
It was all because of this terrible, awful Negro.
Yes, it's always because of a terrible, awful Negro. But yes, they are who we thought they were. And
They are who we thought they were.
but so we'll get back into this in a second. These people are fucking insane. But the first thing I want to do is I want to play the first clip for you that I want to play is from YouTube, and hopefully YouTube hasn't taken this away yet. But I'm going to play a short clip here from Ben Shapiro's show a couple days ago, the day after the assault on 1600 Pennsylvania. No, not 1600, but the assault on the U.S. Capitol.
On the Capitol,
Yes, which is a couple miles away from there. Right on. You got to put this in context. Where you're right on the heels of Android Ann Coulter and David Chicken Perdue losing their Senate seats to Raphael Warnock and to Osloff. Real quick on Warnock, Haas, take a break from stuffing your face and tell us about your fraternity brother. So professional. I mean, he's so the professionalness of
I've
this
only eaten once today.
We get you. Look, listener, we get Haas the new green screen. We get him the new light. We get him the new camera, and he's wearing the Superman shirt and he's ready to go. He's got the glasses on. He's looking all intelligent. He's looking very light-skinned and very non-threatening. While I look washed out with my white light because I'm using the same camera now. We have all of new cameras now. But Haas is stuffing his face like it's 2017 and TJ's hosting the show, because that was exactly how the human race started.
I was always eating. I
tell you,
I was so hungry all the time.
I edited out more forks clinking against glass plates.
You haven't heard one fork today, though,
dude. I mean, but like, why couldn't you have gotten a plastic fucking fork?
That's
what is he? Was he a
heathen? What am I, a bohemian?
Am I a Neanderthal?
Right.
But yes, Raphael Warnock, your quick thoughts, because you're his frat brother and he used to haze you, etc.
Oh no, nothing like that.
That's illegal.
We don't haze at Alpha Phi Alpha.
That's very illegal.
Well,
they would never do that.
Let's get that out of the way right there.
All the shower sex is very
there's none of that.
It's all consensual.
Negative. We don't do that. But brother Raphael Warnock, big shouts out, big props. We're gonna hold your feet to the fire, brother, because
he's a radical leftist, right?
Of course. As we say in the fraternity, once you cross those burning sands, now the real work begins. So you've, in a sense, crossed those sands into the halls of Congress, and now the real work begins, and we'll definitely be holding your feet to the fire and holding you accountable like brothers would.
Yeah. And you muted yourself.
Hey, I said the much professional.
Yeah, Mr. Professional muted.
Who muted me? I see. This is just an attempt to shut the white man's voice, banning me like Trump on Parler.
We got to take all the chances we can get, because they're far and few between.
Yeah, well, good luck to you on that, because I'm a type D personality like Donald Trump.
Type D.
That doesn't even sound good.
So Flow State says our mush brain politics. He wants to talk about cryptocurrency instead. Actually, that's an interesting topic. I'd like to talk about that, but today is not the day, sir. So let's start with a little clip from
We're trying to deflect, Flo. You know what's up.
I I just want to talk about crypto. No, we're talking about Proud Boys today.
No.
For weeks
Okay.
to the January.
All right, so here we go. Let's pop this back 10 seconds, and there's probably about 3 minutes this I want to play. I might fast forward a little bit, but we'll and if anyone wants to pause, let me know.
There was a lot of lead up. There's a lot of lead up to yesterday. Remember, the big news story in the morning was that the Republicans had lost the Senate and the Democrats now had unified control of the government. And there had been lead up for weeks to the January 6th vote by Congress to simply count the votes. Again, there is no legal basis. There is not a legal basis for the vice president of the United States to overturn electoral vote counts. There is not a legal basis for Congress to simply throw out electoral vote counts it doesn't like in the absence of overwhelming evidence of voter fraud or voter irregularity, especially because all of these states had already certified their vote counts within the statutorily provided safe harbor provisions.
Pause for a second.
If you were going to make the arguments, you had to make them in court. The Trump team did not make those arguments in court. In fact, the Trump team repeatedly refused to make fraud arguments in, for example, Pennsylvania, which was the most hotly fraught of the states. And as it turns out, pretty much nobody in Congress yesterday was even willing to challenge the vote counts in Georgia, right after all of the hubbub.
Okay, paused.
Why does he talk like that?
No, he's. You see, if I talk really, really fast, then you don't really have any chance at all.
These honking pauses, and then I say a bunch of words, and then I stop, and then I talk again, and then I have this really high-pitched, grainy voice. Oh my God!
First of all, his wife is a doctor, and wet-ass pussies are so bad for you. You should not have one of those. So just remember, that's the same guy's voice you're talking about.
That's the same guy's voice. All right. Well, let's get.
Did you not know? Hold on, Haj. Did you not hear about that?
No.
Okay,
no, I don't
so
know. I know his wife's a doctor, but that's all I know.
Oh, I'm about to clue y'all. Here's a little pop culture for you guys. So, Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion had a smash hit that took over the airwaves all summer.
I know about that. Yeah,
called WAP, which stood for Wet Ass Pussy, and he was on his show and read the lyrics.
Oh,
I don't know if you want to pull the clip of that, or listener, go ahead and check that out for yourself. Do a little homework yourself. That's your homework.
We have enough Ben, but he likes to do stuff like that because it goes against his religious morals or whatever.
It's the cringiest read. He read the lyrics to the song. Now this is nasty. Like the girls got properly nasty in this song.
Yeah, they did
properly. So
that might be fun. That might be fun to dissect.
Ben Shapiro, of all people, is reading them, except every time they say pussy, he says P word. And it is the cringiest, most uncomfortable reading of lyrics you will ever experience in your life. It's memeable. It's so bad. And it is.
Did you ever see that one where Tom Selleck is doing the tweet theater with the war between Frank Ocean and Chris Brown with Arsenio Hall? And he plays the role of Chris Brown. That's where I get ninjas from, because he used ninjas for the other word. So, but all right, well, we'll continue.
You don't have the stash for that.
Yeah, I do. I have the stash to be Tom Selleck. I am Tom Selleck. I am far more handsome than Tom Selleck Magnum PI could ever be.
I don't know, man. Tom Selleck was crushing it for a good 15 years there.
Yes, he was.
He could do no wrong.
He couldn't miss.
Him in that push broom mustache.
Look like a walrus.
I just made a B movie with Ian Zierling.
That mug was getting it, though.
I got an Oscar nomination. So there's part of this that I want to get to where so we're going to start with sensible and then move to
craziness.
Yeah. So here we go.
For all that to do. But in the lead up, President Trump was suggesting publicly, openly, and repeatedly that the January 6th vote was going to overturn the results of the Electoral College and the results of the election itself, and that he was going to be reinstalled as president if only the Republicans in Congress could find the guts to do so. It was not going to happen. It was a myth. It was not true. Okay, so President Trump led a rally yesterday in which he told people that the election was stolen from. Now, he is an American. He has the right to say his piece. He has the right to believe whatever he wants to believe about whether the election was stolen or whether the election was not stolen. However, the president of the United States should not be doing this, obviously, especially when he has not provided the evidence to back his move. He has not provided the overwhelming evidence the election was stolen. The reality is the certified vote counts from a wide variety of states, including two that were traditionally red states, Arizona and Georgia, went for Joe Biden. The electoral vote count here was the same as the electoral vote count Trump against Hillary Clinton, which he himself called a landslide. In that case, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. Here, Trump lost the popular vote by some 7 million votes. And I know that there are a lot of questions about voter irregularity. I know there are real serious questions about voter procedures, right? Voter ID and universal mail-in balloting. I fully agree with the latter. A lot of the voting procedures are really bad and need to be redone. I am not comfortable with people voting months in advance in universal mail-in balloting without serious examination of the voter rolls to purge people who have moved out of state, et cetera.
Okay, I'm going to pause for there to give you guys a chance because Trump's about to talk here, and I want to skip past Trump's words.
So my question for him is, where was all of these exact same questions in 2016, in 2012, in 2008? Like, he didn't ask those questions then, because what he's talking about are procedural hangups and flaws with our voting system as it stands today, which is fine. You're more than willing to have those objections. But when you only have those objections after the guy that you wanted to win loses, you look a certain way. Because the voting procedures haven't really changed all that much, except for there was more of one type of voting than another. But both types of voting have always been available to us.
Yeah, and I have no problem with people questioning like voting procedure. You know what I mean? Like I realize our voting system is antiquated in this country. I think everyone realizes that our voting system is antiquated in this country, especially with the technology that's available. The problem is that the technology that's available is, as we've seen many times, is susceptible to hacking from outside sources, be it from internal domestic sources or from external sources like Russia, China, and North Korea, et cetera. So, you know, I'm all for, you know, some sort of reform to the voting system. So as long as it does not disenfranchise voters. And that is the thing that the right seems to typically do, is they want less voters, where I want every person who is able to vote to be able to vote. Now, does that mean people who aren't educated in what they're voting for are going to vote? Sure, but that's you still get a 50-50 shot. It's not like people who aren't educated to vote are just automatically going to wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to vote for the Democratic Party or the Green Party or whatever party. They have the same propensity to vote either way that any other person does who would be informed based on what they hear, what they see, and they do, et cetera. So
you still have to win those votes at the end of the day.
See, a lot of people who wouldn't in this election voted who otherwise wouldn't have voted because they had the opportunity to vote, and they see all of the like the thing is that they see all the shit that Trump did and they don't like, and that's the part that's like people don't understand. It's like they're like, well, Trump had all these people at these rallies and Biden had nobody. That's because nobody voted for Biden. They voted against Trump, and it's still a vote,
right?
So whether you like it or not, that's the way that the cereal was poured into the milk. You know, I pour my cereal in first. They poured their milk in first. The result's the same.
Does anybody actually do that? Does anyone put the milk in first? If you're in the chat, I'll give him a pass because he's young.
Yeah, he's 6. He pours the milk in first. But,
that's not okay.
A surefire way to less cereal.
That is the surefire. Big Hussein, any thoughts on that? Because so far, everything you said so far, I agree with. There's nothing I don't agree with thus far.
Well, my issue is you got like Mikey said, you got problems with mail-in voting, but people have been voting that way for a very long time. It's just more people chose to do it. And then when we talk about rallies, well, guess what? Most of the people who supported Biden also believe in COVID. So guess where they're not going to go?
A rally?
A fucking rally. So, of course, you know, and that was one of the things that he said in his call when he was trying to strong arm the Georgia Secretary of State. Well, I had to have won Georgia because I had all of these people at rallies. So the rally side shows that I won. Man, get the fuck out of here.
That phone call, I went and I listened to the entire thing twice. I listened to it on double speed, so I had to end up listening to it twice. I guess I probably should have listened to it once on regular speed. But
twice cut once.
but it's I mean, it was just a conversation of goalposts moving and him talking over people and you know, saying the same things that we've heard all of this over and over and over again.
Right.
The part that we didn't hear before was, I need you to find 11,780 votes. Now, did he specifically say, find me 11,780 fraudulent votes and throw them in there? No, he didn't say that, but implying things like he said, pick one of these buckets that I gave you and go and find 11,700 votes for it.
Find
And
if you can find it that many votes to throw out, I'd be great with that.
Oh, and by the way, there was a report on Victory News today, which is super fucking right-wing conservative Christian news.
Sounds like.
So people who think, oh, you just don't listen. All you do is listen to the MSM. Do either of you have either of you ever heard me talk about something I heard on CNN?
No,
I've never ever done it. I mean, well, not ever, but you get the point. Like 2% of what I hear is from CNN or MSNBC. The Young Turks I do listen to, but they're more anti-establishment than any right-wing media I've ever seen.
And they also do their fucking homework.
They do, and they've been doing a lot better job the last 2 or 3 years. But the point is, like, I listen to Knock Report, I listen to NTD, I listen to Rush Limbaugh, I listen to Sean Hannity. That's how I got all these clips. That I listened to Ben Shapiro, Daily Wire, Fox, OANN, Newsmax. OANN, by the way, makes me a little angry, so I don't watch OANN that much. But
why do they make you angry? You have to elaborate.
They just their brazenness is just without end.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You're better than me.
Yeah, I can't stomach it for more than maybe 5 minutes. Any of those.
But I do it because I like to, like, if I were listening to it like I did in the old days when I would listen to it and say, okay, that's a salient point.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just like, that's false. That's false. That's false. That's false. That's not true. That's not true. And if I do hear something that sounds salient, I'll be like, oh, that's a surprise. And then you go and you research it and you find out that's false. That's false. And then, oh, well, because you're checking with mainstream sources. No, I'm checking with consistency between these sources, which there is none.
Right.
They're reporting different stuff in favor of the same result. Nonstop. It's very rare that they're coherent.
That's the one debate tactic that I will never stoop to, is I will never engross myself in someone else's ignorance just so I can take it down from the inside. Oh, I can get you from out here. I don't need to go all the way in there. I can get you from right here. I don't even have to get up. I can get you from the porch.
Pause.
No, but we're just
feet of
attacking. We're attacking from different places. So I'll meet you in the middle. But let's finish off this this particular clip here, because this part right here I think is pretty key.
Not responsible for the actual shooting. I said the same thing about Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders claimed for months, for years on end, that Republicans were killing old people and that Republicans were attempting to have people die for lack of health care. And then a Bernie Sanders supporter went and shot a bunch of Congress people, including Steve Scalise, who almost died. I did not say that Bernie Sanders was responsible for that, because Bernie Sanders was not responsible for that. Bernie Sanders did not tell the guy to go shoot members of Congress.
Is he talking about at the softball game?
Yeah.
So that guy was a Bernie guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Saying that, the Republican policies are going to end up doing this is different than saying we got to fight. You can never take our country back by being weak.
Right. And that's what he's going to get to right now. So save that point and then throw it in about 60 seconds.
Okay.
I have a very strict standard, and I've applied it on every single side
good for you.
of
Get
this
to your
particular
point, Ben.
issue. With that said, when you raise the temperature, when you keep raising the temperature, when you keep boiling the pot, then eventually it's going to bubble over. And when you keep saying over and over that the election is stolen and that and he makes big statements, we are not going to stand for it. We're not going to let this happen in our country. Right? When you suggest that members of Congress are acting treasonously, I mean, it is an accusation essentially of acting seditiously. If you know that the election was stolen and you vote for it anyway, then it is not entirely unpredictable that people are going to act out in this way. So two things can be true at once. As always, one, you're
that's
not
where you
guilty
got that
of
from.
somebody else's direct violent conduct unless you directed them to do that direct violent conduct, but you are guilty for the language that you speak. Right? You are responsible for the promulgation of untruths. You are responsible for the raising of the temperature. You're responsible for misleading people about the proper response to something like this. We do have legal processes, and the president eventually came around to the legal processes last night, at least publicly.
Okay, and we played that.
But we'll get to more of this in just 1 second.
No, we don't want to hear about your Birch Gold or whatever it is you're going to sell us. So because we don't take advertisements here on Voice from the Underground, at least unless they're offering us to do so, and then we'll take advertisements.
Unsullied by sponsorship.
Unsullied by sponsorship. Big Hussein. So just to bow tie that, I personally was very pleased when I heard this on his show, because he basically said, look, he's responsible to the degree, not for the violence, but for the temperature raising, which I think is a very fair characterization.
Yeah.
And blanketly said everything that he's been talking about for months and months is total fucking myth. So your thoughts?
I was very happy to hear that. And you know, that's what we're talking about. We know that some people, and it seems to be a good cross section of the 45 base, you're able to push them to a point where you have deniability for what happens after that, but there's no denying that your rhetoric nudged them to that point. You know what I mean? It's a classic manipulation where, you know, it's almost like some woman who don't like her husband starting a relationship with some naive 16-year-old kid and just being like, yeah, you know, if he wasn't around,
18 legal reasons. 18.
Yeah. No. 16 is I said that for a reason.
Okay.
You know, if John wasn't around anymore, we could be together. You know, I just wish he wasn't here anymore. I wish he wasn't around anymore.
I wouldn't.
You know,
get hit anymore.
you're not saying go kill John. However, you're you know, pushing to that. You're insinuating it in a naive mind, or a mind easily manipulated, is going to take that next step that they feel is the logical next step. Well, I really want to be with Veronica, so I got to get John out of here. You know, and that's exactly what Trump was doing in a more sophisticated way. In a way, you know, I mean, more sophisticated way as far as plausible deniability, but that was his whole point. You know, that rhetoric, you know, of strength and we're strong and they're weak and da 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 da. You know, I saw an Instagram video at the rally, and we could take that place. We can fight. They're all traitors. Every one of them should be traitors. Heads on spikes. Da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
So they're talking like that at the fucking rally before they went to the Capitol. So what do you think's going to happen when you got people with megaphones saying shit like that at the rally? Then they get there, and he made it seem like in his speech like he was going to be right there with him.
Oh yeah.
So
that's the key part. Let me jump onto that for a second. Our mutual friend, at least me and Big Haas from the biker community, Big Daz.
Shout out Big Daz.
He said to me today, I posted on Twitter, they are who we thought they were. And he said something very short. He was like, I can't tell you how much I disagree with you, because he's a big Trump guy. And, you know, in the biker community, we deal with these guys a lot. So, but he's that's my brother. Like, Big Daz is my brother, right? He's served his country. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. He's just warped politically. But the point he made to me was that there was, you know, that he disagreed with what I was saying, and then went into, you know, the characterization of what he was trying to fight against and everything like that. And there are people like him who make sensible arguments, but then there are people like this person who, and actually, I forgot to say my point there. What I had said to him was, I was like, look, dude, we're in the biker community. I don't know how I almost walked over my own point, but if we were to go on a ride, and I were to tell you, and he was our road captain, right? Mm-hmm. So I put it on him. I said, if you were to tell us that you were going to ride with us and we were going to go to whatever, be it a fight, which we didn't really do that, but it did happen from time to time, or a just a party, or we're going to go for, we're going to Louisville to promote something, or we're going to do a Toys for Tots ride, or we're going to do a charity drive for Thanksgiving, or which we did all of these things, right? Someone died in the community, and we're going to go and we're going to ride out to them,
right?
But especially if it's something important, not like we're going to go out for a ride on Sunday and we're just going to shoot the shit, but we have something. He's telling us how important this is to the club, and we're going to go, and I'm going to lead the ride. And then he decided not to show up to the ride.
Yeah.
You know as well as I do that he and I and you would all call him a fucking coward.
Yeah.
Yo,
and
those guys are talking mad shit. It's time for a rumble. Meet you guys there.
and then his own people get mad at him because he condemned the violence. So why would they condemn? Okay, so this is the crazy person I was going to talk. Well, did you want to touch on that biker point real quick? Either of you?
On the biker part, not so much, but I think it's very convenient that they chose this of all of Trump's misdeeds to say, you know what, that is it.
That's it. Well, that's because they were actually in danger.
And I think that's the only time people care about things. People
he's hiding in the White House.
People who have no family members who have had any shit happen with them as far as COVID is concerned, they don't give a fuck about that. They're not wearing no mask because it doesn't matter.
They're healthy.
Doesn't affect me, doesn't affect any of my family. But then if somebody that they know and love gets sick, and
it's almost like how certain politicians were anti-LGBT marriage until their daughter comes out or their son comes out, and then they're anti-stem cell research until one of them gets a disease where stem cells have been shown to give results in curing that ailment. Then all of a sudden, oh yeah, that's fine. And I saw a meme, and it said, it shouldn't have to happen to you before it matters to you.
Right.
And I think that's a very, very profound statement, because it seems like far too many people, they don't care about something until it's on their doorstep, or until it happens actually to them. And this is supposed to be the United States of America, where we care about all of our citizens and we want the best for them. And if we're in a better place, we want to help our fellow people get into a similar position. And it just doesn't seem like that's the prevailing attitude these days among a good swath of the country.
Exactly. Now, get ready for some fun. I'll preface this statement. This is a statement from Gun Talk. So Gun Talk is a live radio show, and thank God I heard this and I was like, oh my God, I was trying to pull my phone out and record it, but I actually found they post their podcast immediately. So 4 minutes ago, I found the clip that I want to play. So the host of Gun Talk, he's really there to talk about guns. He is a conservative, big time, but even he has some limits. But the woman that he's talking to, get ready for this shit. Now, and let me preface it. Someone had called earlier, and she took issue with what that person had said, because they had said there was no evidence to the fraud.
Mm-hmm.
And the host had said, well, yeah, we haven't seen it, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, thumbs up for the Bears. Thank you, Jacob Downey, for their loss today, which we all knew was going to happen to the a whole 9 points to the Saints that they were able to put up. It's just
and like, know who that.
Did you guys see Nickelodeon did like this streams of the games where they have SpongeBob popping out and catching passes?
Something that was funny was that somebody dropped the F-bomb on the Nickelodeon stream. one of the players was next to the ref when they called a penalty or something like that.
They should have just popped in Mr. Crab as saying it, because that'd be right up Mr. Crab's alley. But so again, right after this phone call, this lady calls in response, and I want you to listen carefully and really enjoy to what she says, because you guys are gonna fucking love this shit.
All right, here we go.
Straight to the phone. Susan's called in from Branson, Missouri. She's on 4. Hey,
oh my
Susan,
God, Branson.
Called in. How can we help you?
Hi. I am starting not to like this show. I just tuned in so I could walk my dog. And what I've heard you say, you know what? Trump may be a jerk, but Obama was a jerk, okay? And
Yep.
Trump did not lose. Trump had 71 million votes, all right? He campaigned. There was, so many people that voted for him while Biden was sitting in his basement, all right? I can't believe that you even said that, number one, but that's not why I called.
Okay.
All right. The federal building that Ashley Babbitt broke into is owned by the people. All right. We pay taxes on that building. That building was built on our money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think the man that called previously was trying to say.
All right. I'm going to pause this real quick because it gets better. But just the quick note, all he said is that Biden's going to be the president. And she said, I'm starting not to like this show. I thought I could have sworn the liberals were the snowflakes.
We already know. That's projection. We already know. Know what time it is out here.
All right. So then she's saying that this is the people's house.
Okay.
And the host will push back on her, but
spoiler alert.
All credit to the host, but seriously, this is her opinion. I'm telling you, I hear this from people in my own family and my wife's side of the family constantly, and on Facebook constantly. So here we go.
All right.
Okay.
When you
and
said,
that's why,
if you break in, it's not.
Let me ask you a question.
And all of that.
Wait. Surely you understand that it is a felony, right? I mean, you understand that you can't go break into the White House. It's our building. We own that building.
But you don't get shot for it either.
Yeah, you do.
You don't. There was so many policemen behind her. They could have grabbed her off of the wall.
I understand that. I understand.
Yeah.
Wait. But what you're saying is it's okay to break in, to break out the windows, to kick in the doors, to go in and ransack and loot and steal because we own the building. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
If it's our building, we can do whatever we want to with it.
Oh, good luck with that. No, we cannot. You can't do that to my building. That's my building too. Right?
Okay, yeah, it's your building too. It's we the people's building.
You don't get to go destroy it because you pay taxes. That's ludicrous.
From Facebook, they have cut us off from Twitter. They have, silenced the president of the United States, which is unimaginable to me.
I agree.
And now they have cut off Parler, where everybody went.
I agree.
You can't even have any social media.
We can agree on those. But I am simply never, ever going to agree with you that we get to loot and steal and ransack and break into a building that's a federal building because we're going to claim, well, I own that building. That's my building. No, you're breaking the law. And I think probably Ashley Babbitt probably should not have been shot. I think there probably was another way to go about it. But having said that, I can't imagine that we, the people who pride themselves on being pro-law enforcement, who pride ourselves on being the law-abiding people, who had a real problem with the Antifa riots, are now suddenly okay when our side does almost exactly the same thing, and we're trying to justify it by saying, well, it's a public building, so we get to destroy it? That's just not who we are.
Well, you know what? It's who we have to start being.
No. There it is.
We have to start destroying our own buildings as a way of getting people to listen?
I don't mean we have to destroy our buildings, okay?
Yes.
We have to get them to listen.
Mm.
They are not listening. They are cutting us off.
Okay, I think they heard. What do you think? I wish we had time. We don't have enough time, but I'm going to say, I will take the... I think they listened, and what they heard is that some of these people are just stone cold crazy and dangerous. Agree or disagree, that's the narrative that we handed them with this. And they are weaponizing it and using it against us even as we speak right now.
Well,
to go back to how I started.
Okay. So as you can see, now you know why I played that clip. A couple touch points there.
We're weaponizing what they did against them. No, that's what you did. Hey, you know what, Dutch? Facts don't care about your feelings. And a bunch of yahoos stormed the Capitol building, and they're lucky that all of them weren't taken out with an Apache.
They're not lucky. They're
Right, but
privileged that all of them weren't taken out.
Let's look at the context. Let's look at the details of what was said. Now, I don't agree with everything the host said, but he was far more sensible than she was, obviously.
100%.
But this, so what he's saying there is he's saying we gave the left ammunition to make them say they are who we thought they were.
Right.
When he didn't want us to do that. He wanted to be able to continue to play the card that the right wing is law-abiding, peaceful, right, hardworking, and white. So it's, you always hear it, law-abiding, peaceful, patriotic, hardworking Americans, who love this country, love this president, and love the Constitution, and they're the good guys with the guns. That is how they see themselves, but they are who we thought they were, and now we've given them ammunition to be able to say that. That's, I believe, the plausible read on what he was saying. However, I don't want to get down the rabbit hole with that unless you disagree with that. But the point is that she said, one, that's how we need to start being. She said, two, that she thought it shouldn't be a felony because it's her house. And three, they're not listening. Holy shit, Batman. Big Haas, just take the ball. Okay. Here's a pass.
So that was the 2 points she talked about. That's how we have to start being, really. Okay. But then they're not listening. After one election, you feel like people aren't listening. So you take to storming a federal building, basically endangering the lives of Congress people, senators, and etc., state reps. You take to that after an election doesn't go your way. They didn't listen and give this election to Donald Duck there. So this is what we're going to do. But on the other hand, years and years and years, generations of marginalized communities being brutalized, murdered, systematically oppressed, multitudes of peaceful methods to try and raise awareness to those issues are undertaken, and they're all discredited, dismissed, denied, ridiculed, ignored, and then frustrations and resentment boils over to a point that after yet another injustice, after yet another atrocity, there's rioting. Then
and a slight difference that they're actually real,
right? And there's never an excuse for rioting. There's never an excuse for destruction of property. You should never do that. There are better ways to get your voices heard. Isn't it ironic? You know, isn't that ironic? Oh, this is how we have to start being. They're not listening. One election where you falsely believe that it was stolen from you. That, my friends, is entitlement and privilege. You're so used to having your way. You're so used to being able to say, this is how I want it. And so many instances, that's exactly what happens, that you not getting your way, and justly so, because the mountains and mountains of evidence show that you should not have your way. This election was fine. This election was fair. This election was not stolen. But guess what? You're so used to having your way. You're so used to being able to, spew your rhetoric and be the squeaky wheel and get your way, that this time that you don't, you throw a big ass fucking tantrum in the house you say you're supposed to love. Mikey.
Yeah, my bad. I think my cat is like screaming in the background. He's just
No, I heard that. Well, you were there, so what's your take? You know, you were the guy with the Viking horns on, right?
no, that was Shartan. You guys have met him before.
Oh, yes, that's right.
He's from Norway. They do those things. The sudden call for de-escalation. Another cop could have came up and grabbed her. There was cops all over. They didn't have to shoot.
Yeah, thank you for catching that.
Oh, so now you want the cops to not shoot. You want them to de-escalate. It's very convenient. Your timing for all this stuff is very convenient. Well, when the little white girl who's busted into the Capitol building and is poking her face through a barricaded door that you guys have broken the glass out. So now that the glass has been broken out and she sticks her face in the little glass to say peekaboo and she caught one in the neck, what did you think was going to happen? They're not playing with you. This is the Capitol. This is not Target.
All right, just real quick, did you guys watch the video of her getting shot?
I did.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Because she was about 4.5 feet away from the window when I believe that the officer, because you saw the guy walk up to the glass and shoot through the glass that they were breaking down, and she was behind one other person when she was shot.
She was climbing up on something that they had in front of it. She was like, that's when the camera's turning, so it's a little blurry, but to me, it looked like she was getting up there to do one of these, and that's when she got popped. He moved forward to make sure he hit her, but she was going for that hole in the glass.
Yeah, you couldn't see what happened, where she was when
bullet
was fired.
You could see her rising up.
Yeah,
like she was climbing up on something. And then she got shot, and she fell back and down.
Right, she didn't just
back and down.
He didn't have like a fucking shotgun. It was like, bagoo!
No, it's a 9mm they shot her with.
Yeah, and a 9mm is not going to send her flying like that. She fell off of something. She had climbed up to whatever that glass that they had broken out to try to get. Well.
Like I say,
I took that personally.
When a black person or a brown person or a white person pulls a gun on a cop and you can see you see the gun coming out and they get shot, well, you know what I say? They earned that bullet.
Yeah, that's theirs now.
You're breaking down glass and trying to break into a place where armed guards are protecting people.
Right.
What do you think's going to happen? They're already on high alert because you're breaking down the glass, you're yelling and screaming, and then you see people trying to get in. And if that's not fear for my life, I don't know what is.
And what's going to be crazy is, remember the other day, very, very peaceful protests in Kenosha after the officers were found. There was no charges. The officers who shot Jacob Blake. Now Jacob Blake was reaching into his vehicle for whatever, we don't know what. But the narrative there is, well, he shouldn't have been reaching into his vehicle.
Right.
Where is that narrative now?
Oh, they turned on the police. They was stomping and trampling.
They killed a guy.
They
killed a guy.
Yeah. The Blue Lives Matter flags. It was trampling on him. Fuck you.
You know how they killed him? You know how that guy? Yeah, they bludgeoned him with a fire extinguisher.
Yeah. Now imagine.
They did that on Wednesday?
Yeah, he died from his injuries later.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Imagine if Jamal, Miguel, and Saeed had stormed the Capitol and bludgeoned a Capitol cop to death with a fire extinguisher. What do you think the right would be saying right now? What do you think OANN would be saying? What do you think the Blaze would be saying?
They are what we thought they were.
They would say Saeed was a terrorist. Miguel was illegal, who shouldn't
illegal
have been
drug dealing immigrant, and Jamal was just a run of the mill thug.
Yeah, he got arrested for weed in '98, so totally justified. And it's like that. I had a discuss. By the way, I pulled Steve Cox. I was having a conversation with Jeff Dornick on Twitter, right? Mm-hmm. And Steve Cox got into that, and I'll tell you, Jeff at the end of it, he was like, he literally said something like, all of our voices are being silenced now. And then he said to me, "Thanks a lot for that, Jason." I'm like, it had
How
nothing
did you
to
do it?
I had nothing to do with you.
Jason,
I'm like,
did you say to
told
him?
you.
Did you say to him, "I'm white, but I don't have that much power"?
I don't have that much power. I'm like, I told you that you were on the wrong team. I told you that you were on the wrong team.
Yeah.
I think that.
Wait,
I think
Jeff or Steve?
Jeff.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I was like,
Steve, I was having a conversation with him, and then Steve caught wind of it, and he got in, and he probably saw it and got involved with it, and started taking control. You know, the guy talks.
Steve is
right?
Steve.
Yeah, he was Steve being Steve when Steve wanted Steve. So, so you know, Jeff was like, now it was interesting because generally when I'm having Dornick conversations, it's me against 5 or 6 of his followers.
Acolytes. Yeah.
Right. This time it was him and 1 or 2 of his guys against like 11 because the army of cocks came in. Right. So it's like, but
Mikey, you missed it.
Oh yeah, you missed the army.
What came in, Dutch? What came in?
The army of cocks came in, and it was just it was amazing how, and you know, Jeff can be a little bit coarse, but I don't perform that way on Twitter. But the point of the matter is,
pause.
See, you just have a dirty fucking mind, right?
It's this crown.
If you want to see how he performs, go to onlyfans.com/Jason Dutch.
Jason
with a capital D.
With a capital D. But
in Gothic.
But to circle back to that, because we'll get to Parlor here in a sec. But there's a couple more things I want to play. Mikey, you were speaking, so go ahead and finish your thoughts.
What was I speaking about again? The cat was mad the dog was in here and he couldn't be in here, so he had to disrupt the show. I apologize.
Did he give them skibbity paps?
He was trying to, but
shout out to Tony Baker, the comedian, for the skibbity paps.
Yeah, he can try them skibbity paps with 0 one more time, and he gonna end up with 1 arm.
I'm gonna be like, oh damn, Rudy.
I'm gonna have a cat with one of them little he gonna have the little bicycle wheels for back legs. You keep fucking with that dog. He done with him. I don't think I had something for the Jeff and Steve thing. I didn't know what was happening. But the de-escalation was blaringly sometimes there's just Johnny come lately when it comes to picking an argument.
Just call it what it is.
Yeah, I didn't want to use that because it seemed too on the nose, but it's always and I always tell people when they're in groups that want to protest and want to do these things, and they are newer groups, they always make the same couple of mistakes. Whether it's the ladies or trans people or anybody who's out there marching or trying to get stuff put through legislation, they go about it 100% wrong. These knuckleheads, I could tell from Jump Street that they had no idea what they were doing. They had no leadership because they're going in to storm the Capitol for what? You're going in the building for what? What are you going to do once you get there? No one knows. Everyone's just going. They're just running into a building.
It's a revolution.
For what? What are you going to do when you get there? Become the senator now because you're in the Senate. You're in the senator's office, so now you're the senator. Is that how that works? Did you maybe plan on kidnapping people? Maybe that's why you had a bunch of zip ties in a big fucking gang of people, and you had nooses strung up.
The 11 Molotov cocktails, and
is that what you were trying to like? What was the plan here? What was the plan? And no one had a plan. So sorry, I knew this was going to fail from the jump. And once them boys that don't wear uniforms, but they wear fatigues, once they show up, it's a whole different conversation. Because they're not asking you no questions.
Right.
They're eliminating threats at that point,
right?
Which is what they were. And I don't like to see people as threats, especially if they're American citizens and they don't need to be when they're doing it just because they're stupid.
Right.
But you play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. You try to storm the Capitol. You in for a whole new world. This ain't Larry who gets his shift ends at 10. Oh no, these boys are in for months at a time.
They
got all the time in the world to put a whooping on that ass.
and they've been waiting to do it.
Oh, they're
Now,
bored.
now you remember how Ben Shapiro, and you're exactly right. But the game continues here. You remember how Ben Shapiro was honest about what happened, and even the guy, the host of Gun Talk, was honest about what happened. Here's our friend, Mr. Producer, Mark Levine. Hey, Mark, how are you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I went back and I listened to his speech, Mr. Producer.
oh, Jesus.
There's not one word where he encourages violence. Not one. Not one. In fact, he used the word peacefully. Protest the Congress peacefully.
Go ahead.
And so now you're to believe that the president incited violence, promoted an insurrection, and wanted to overthrow the government. He did none of those things.
Credibility level -4, I think, at this point for Mark Levine.
That's a 0.
That's
because here's the thing.
How do you even get that read?
You know, if I say to my,
it was a perfect speech, a perfect call.
Yeah, if I say to my friends, you see that drunk girl over there?
The price is wrong,
you know,
bitch.
Hey, let's make sure she gets home safely, guys. Right?
On the transcript, that reads as just a general concern for the young lady's safety.
Yes. Hey guys, the 5 of us should make sure she gets home safe as she stumbles down the street. You know what I mean? This man spoke how he spoke for 59 minutes and 59 seconds or so, right? Then at the very end, peaceful. Make sure you do it peacefully, though. You know, just like he was saying, you know how you put your hand over the guys' heads when you're arresting them to make sure they don't hit their heads. You know,
take the hand off.
Don't you know?
The thing is, if he had actually done what he said he was going to do and gone with them, it's possible that it might have been a far different result.
Possibly.
But he took the coward's way out.
All the people around him would have been dead. And why is that? Because when it comes to elected officials, there is only so close you can get to them. And we have made that a rule because people do assassinate presidents. People do kill senators and House reps. People do that. Crazies will do that to them. So as a country, I want Donald Trump to have Secret Service protection. I don't want anyone usurping the way that we select our leaders and being a vigilante and deciding this is the person that gets to be in.
Right.
But for him, not until after all this bullshit happens does he concede the election, number one, and also commit himself to a.
I wouldn't call that a concession. He just.
Well, that was his way of conceding, which is fine. He doesn't. If he's too much of a fucking namby-pamby to actually say I lost and I can see this election to Joe Biden. If he doesn't want to be a man and say it, that's fine. I never had high hopes for him in the first place. But for that peaceful transition of power, every time he was asked, he said, we'll see what happens. And I'm going to take it to court. We'll see. Well, when you don't do that, you do imply violence.
Right.
That is why it is the standard that every president leaving office needs to say that. It needs to be said. It needs to be known. It is important to set the tone. And I mean, that's a leadership thing, but he wouldn't know nothing about that.
No.
You have to set the tone for what is happening next. You're controlling the tempo right now. You can't just like throw the metronome up in the air and be like, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
No.
He was saying that months before the election.
That's irresponsible.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see we'll have to look at it to determine if it's going to be peaceful or not. Because that was the question before the election. If you lose, will you guarantee a peaceful transition of power?
Well, we'll have to see.
We'll have to see. Why do you have to see? Even if you're going to contest it,
contest away.
You can say, hey, I will, if If there are irregularities, if I will contest,
Right.
but if all of my contestations or all of my objections fail, then yes, I will guarantee a peaceful transition of power.
None of that happened.
You know,
And
but he said
that
off
leaves-
the jump. He said off the jump, we'll have to see if it'll be peaceful. So
And
you're
that-
already setting the tone right
And then
there.
he said, "Stand back
and stand by.
stand by."
And that leaves
And
all
that's
the
what happened.
and that leaves all the wiggle room in the world
Yeah.
for certain online peoples to continue with this conspiratorial bullshit, to ramp
Right.
people up, to make them to he leaves the door open so that people can talk about all this theft and all this corruption and all this stealing and all this stuff, and then they whip the people
Right.
up, and then there you go, you got wins.
And here's the more foundation of all of this. The speech that he gave right before the rally was the culmination of him slowly turning the temperature up on this since before the election. Because guess what? He had that crock pot on warm. Then he turned it to low. Then he turned it to medium. Then he gives the speech and turns it to high, and things
That's
boil
exactly
over.
what Shapiro said. He's like he was responsible for raising the temperature. That's what
Exactly. Yeah, and he did it over months. He didn't just raise the temperature at that speech in that hour. That was him turning the knob all the way.
Do you think?
And then saying, "Hey, be careful though. Don't burn yourself."
Do you think Trump's still in contact with Steve Bannon?
Probably.
Oh yeah,
this whole thing is a very Steve Bannon move.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen several different articles talking about how they were going in there to go get the vice president.
He's talking to Bannon. Now I don't know. I'm not going to go that far that came from Bannon. But that hang Mike Pence thing, we'll talk about that in a second. But he is definitely still in contact with Bannon. There's no question about
100%.
it because I've heard too many times where it's been referenced that in the last 2-3 weeks that there has, that Bannon techniques are still being used by Trump, which I don't understand because they were buddies and they hate each other and they're buddies and they hate each other. Like they're like a sparring couple or something like that. It's very,
they're like
very
high
strange.
school. They're like high school people.
Sweethearts. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right. So one more. So I'm going to give you about 20 seconds. By the way, TNT did for their NBA, and we'll talk about the NBA after this. So it could be a good segue into talk about the NBA. But to laugh a little bit, perhaps, I want to show you this. So let's pull up this particular article here. I had to move my screen over, so sorry if I'm not looking. There he is, right there.
Shaq.
Okay, now this is going to be his 15-second or so snap of him talking, followed by me laughing my ass off. So here we go.
100%. Yeah, I can't hear a damn thing.
To make changes. So now the people that we're making change with, they have a job to do. They have the job to make sure things start to turn around and become how we want it. I'm disappointed that I saw that, but my thing is, how you let this guy get in Nancy Pelosi's office?
Look at the shoes
and go like this. How does that happen? And you can't let him.
All right, wait. We have to sit. All right, you gotta watch that one more time.
Yo, he got big feet.
No, but did you see what he's wearing?
It's hard to find comfortable shoes when you got feet them big.
Right.
His feet is them big. So come on, Shaq.
He got the fuzzy joints on. He got the fuzzy joints on.
He trying to swiffer the floor and be comfortable at the same time.
Right.
Like how the lint on the side of the shit. He's literally.
Dude,
you took the words right out of my mouth. He's literally cleaning the floors at the TNT studios. They've saved money due to COVID. They don't have to.
3 or 4 Shaq steps and them bitches. Oh shit! My whole floor is clean. Man, I ain't got no dust in this whole joint. The static electricity built up by Shaq walking across carpet will suck up every piece of lint in the whole house.
Look at the outfit. The suit matches perfectly with the blue stripes and the tie.
Yeah. And then you got those
the socks. Look at the socks. The socks match.
That's a double Windsor knot too. That's fancy.
That's my Michael
fancy,
knot.
huh?
And then Shaq go to work comfortable.
Yeah.
He's a big man. He's a big man.
When I saw and the funny thing is like I watched that for another 10 minutes afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Not a peep.
No, nobody said anything because they probably got on crazy.
I was about to
shoes,
say
too.
they probably got the same joints on, but on the smaller size. Like, you know what, Shaq? Where you get them from? What's that website? Let me order a couple of these.
Oh my God.
Is that the new? Is that the new? You know what that is? That's a 2021 Shaq shoe that you can get at. That's a
Get the
2021.
Shaq Attack at Walmart. You
That's
get
the
that at
one. That's the
Walmart.
joints you can get at Walmart. But that's he has a leisure brand too. See, he already hit you with the basketball shoes. Now he's trying to hit you with the comfort shoes. See, Shaq is all over the place. Whether he's doing aspirin,
making that money. He making that money.
Osteobiflex,
icy hot patch,
all them shits. He is a networking businessman. So yeah, he that was an ad placement.
I'm surprised the sole of that shoe didn't say Five Guys on it.
Those are the moments that I'm happy to be able to get back to. Hopefully. But so now I got to yell again. So guess what the NBA did after the word came out that lives have been lost during the siege of the U.S. Capitol, including Miss Babbitt. Guess what they did? They paused and they knelt in a moment of solidarity for a fucking white woman. Where's the outrage?
No, you don't hear it because life lost is life lost, right?
Now maybe they don't know because they weren't watching, or maybe because it wasn't.
They didn't
know.
They didn't know possibly the circumstances. Maybe.
No, I'm talking about they being MAGA. Like they didn't know that because they don't watch the NBA anymore. They boycotted it.
Oh yeah, we don't watch that shit no more. We watch curling.
Yo, Brenna is a curler. You're gonna leave curling alone before she beat me up.
Hey, she can curl.
She be curling.
She be curling all in the club like it ain't nothing. They be curling.
One of the few Ice Cube songs I don't like that much. Right
All
up there with you could do it, put your ass into it. Don't like that
jam.
song. I don't like that song.
If I'm already a couple drinks in at the club,
I don't like Ludacris. What's Your Fantasy either. I don't like it.
I thought we was friends this whole time. Damn.
I don't like that. I don't like that song. You know why they played it out? They played it out.
You're off the show.
Rest in peace, my friend.
Right after,
because he hates What's Your Fantasy.
Yes, he's off the show right after. Cue the fucking music.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to the Humidor with Big Haas. Find out what Haas is puffin' and drinkin' today. If you try his suggestion and you die, that is natural selection, and the VFU podcast is not responsible for you being weak effing sauce. Now, the one, the only, Big Haas.
I'm not on drugs.
Hey,
Zumba. You get out of here. Back to the shadow realm.
Today I'm vaping on.
All right, Big Haas.
By the way, menthol cigarettes are outlawed in California now.
They're outlawed just about everywhere now.
Well, why are you licking your lips and you doing a sexy show?
He's tasting the smoke.
I'm tasting the smoke, exactly.
All right. Student number 37 here.
Today I am smoking the Space Force. No, I'm just playing. But if you look at the emblem there, it kind of looks like a Space Force or or Decepticon emblem. I don't know.
Same thing.
Now,
United Federation of Planets, it would be. There you go.
Listeners, if you have tuned into multiple humidors, please let me know if I reviewed this cigar before, but I don't think I have. I have smoked this cigar before, so this is one of those rare ones where it's not a virgin smoke pause. But I don't think I've reviewed this cigar, and it is one of my favorites. And I think that you'd like it. And I think that if you do find it, snatch some up because it's a limited release as well. I'm talking about the CAO Vision. That's what this is. Now, as you can see, I got the V cut. I'm partial to the V cut. I love the band because it has that hologram type look to it. What's real cool about these cigars is the box. The box is like a box of 20. It comes in this white, beautiful box that actually has a LED
White is
light.
beautiful, thank you.
It has a light. You see, I let that go. It has a LED light that you can, when you open the box and you flip it on, it's a lovely light illuminating your cigars. But more importantly, these cigars are the bomb. It's a medium full, okay? And in the US, there are only 2,500 boxes released when they do these. Now, they release them intermittently over the years, okay? Originally, they were produced in 2007, okay? And this year in 2020, they did another release. 2,500 boxes, only one Vitola, only one size.
Fits all.
The Churchill.
Oh, that's a big boy.
7-inch pause by 50. So it's not an overwhelming ring gauge. As some of those, I've smoked some that are 64. They call those the inch pause. Anyway, so beautiful cigar, medium full. Okay, it only comes in the Churchill, which is 7-inch by 50 ring gauge. The wrapper is from Cameroon, has a little sweetness to it. And what I love about this wrapper is this: some puffs I really get the sweetness. Some puffs I don't. Pause. But oh God, it's a good cigar. So, like I said, the wrapper is from Cameroon. The binder is a double binder. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, not a double binder. It's a Ecuadorian Sumatra binder. All right. And the Sumatra also has a little sweetness to it at times. I'm trying to think here what other things you might get off the binder. Oh, well, I can't think of it right now. But the filler is
Dutch.
Nicaragua.
Jesus Christ.
I'm working.
Your time is impeccable.
You're going to love my nuts.
So this cigar is expensive. Like a pack of 5 between 85 and $100 for 5.
Wow.
Inconceivable.
But let me tell you,
It's too many monies.
it's worth it.
It's too many monies.
It's fucking worth it. Oh my God, the cigar is, I really like it. Now, look at the wrapper. It's Cameroonian. It's a little, I don't know if you can see it, a little veiny. Pause. Nice medium brown coloration to it, but veiny. So it gets a little, I like that, but just because, like I said, I like the cigar to look like when they first start making cigars before they,
Looks like it could be one of your fingers.
Could be.
Yeah, maybe it is.
And if you look at the burn, look at that burn. Look at that. Very little wave to it. I've got the heater on down here. And of course, air circulating anyway through the HVAC AC system. But look at that burn.
Beautiful thing. Oh, there's student number one.
I have a very important question.
I love Okay.
I'm cracking myself up. Oh shit.
Yes. My question is more or less about the vitola of the cigar. Now, is there like a regulated standardization of vitolas, or can I have a Churchill that's for my brand is only 7+ inches, and then another person wants a Churchill that's 7.5+ inches? Or is there a standardization of the sizes of each vitola?
Well, for the size queens out there,
nice to know what student number one finally looks like. Good we can get back into the classroom, so you don't have to virtually see him. He always has camera.
I tested negative for my last COVID test, so I'm allowed back into the classroom and the lab.
Oh, beautiful! You can mess with those beakers. So a Churchill.
That's what she said.
Is usually a Churchill is never less than 6.5. Okay, it's never less than 6.5. A Churchill could be down around, as far as ring gauge, between 42 or 43 and maybe 50. You don't see very many Churchills where the ring gauge is above like 52 or 54. When you get above that, then they call it just a Gordo.
Ay, caramba!
Or a double Gordo or something like that. But so when we talk about standardizations like Robustos, they're generally not over 5.5 inch. Okay. Coronas are usually between like 5.5 and 6.25 or something like that. So, and then also the vitolas also can refer to the shape. We have the torpedoes, which are tapered here on the cap here. The cap is not round; it actually comes to a point. Then there's the Salomon, which is a rounded cap, and it's kind of fat, and then it actually fattens out some more before it actually rounds at the end with a small little area for lighting. So there's lots of vitolas out there. I forget the name of the one that's actually 3 cigars kind of braided together. I forget the name of that vitola, but that is I haven't smoked one of those yet. I'm trying to find one that I can smoke. Any other questions?
I think he went to the bathroom. He's gone. I don't know where he went.
Okay.
Miguel's here if you want to ask a question. They say, no, I don't want to ask nothing.
Well, Miguel, if you need to know,
I was storming the Capitol.
The blender of the CAO vision is Rick Rodriguez, so he might be one of your cousins.
Emmett Tucker here, Confederate trucker. Wondering if if I smoke a cigar with my sister, is she still my cousin?
That has nothing to do with the cigar.
But if I'm not smoking a cigar with her, she's my sister and my cousin at the same time. So I'm looking for a little bit of an out here. I've got some problems with the local law enforcement, DCFS and whatnot. And I'm hoping that this cigar might be able to, if I'm smoking the cigar, then my sister would not be my cousin. Is that accurate?
That is not accurate at all, sir. Sorry about that. I can't help you with your familial issues.
All right. Well, MAGA, make America great again. We'll talk to you later.
We already did. He's leaving in about 11 days. That's going.
My second brunkle used to talk like that.
Oh, your brunkle? You got a brunkle or a funkle? Now, back to the cigar. I am pairing it today.
I drink and I know things.
Well, something. Let me talk about with the palace the note that I'm getting from it as well.
What you got?
I read the review a long time ago when I first got this cigar, because these have been sitting in the humidor for a while. But they talk about leather. I don't necessarily get the leather, but I do get the spice, and I do get the espresso bean. So, or espresso flavoring or note.
So they're fake news. They lied.
It's not that they lied. It's just my experience with it today, right now. In a week from now, when I smoke the next one, or a month from now, when I smoke the next one, I might get the Levin. I don't have it from this one.
You are fake news.
But I did pair it today with a recommendation from Brother Famine.
What doesn't he do? You know
what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing. Mikey was over earlier,
Oh, pause.
And he noticed that I had some Crown Peach.
You're going to love my nuts.
He noticed that I had the Crown Peach
Good
in
stuff.
the bar cart.
Yeah, I remember when TJ put you up on that a long time ago.
Because I thought it was going to be too sweet. And it is pretty sweet. But I kind of, Mikey's recommendation for it, for mixing it, is actually really good in muting a little bit of the sweetness of the Crown. But it's good on the rocks by itself, but I like it mixed with something. So I have Crown Peach and ginger beer.
And a squeaky chair.
Okay. And when I get this, when I take a sip, you get a double blast to the mouth. Pause. Take a puff. And
Crack-a-lackin'.
You get a little bit more sweetness off of the wrapper, the Cameroon wrapper. A little bit more sweetness, but the spice is amplified as well. And I have to assume that's from the ginger. So the ginger, of course, and the alcohol of the whiskey there. But really good. One of my very favorite cigars. I bought hold on, I gotta whisper this. I don't know. I bought 7.
Of course.
I got 7. And I've been making myself not smoke them. I've got 2 or 3 left. But luckily I got a way to get some more and I'll be all right. But
Habitually, he's a habitual line stepper.
These are great cigars.
What's the rating on that bad boy?
Hold on a second, man.
Oh, I thought you were about to give it, so I was trying to intro you.
Because I love y'all, I'm gonna put y'all up on game. And if you're in the Chicagoland area, there's a box of these at this little spot called the Torch Cigar Hookah Lounge in Lockport. So if you want to find some, but you better get there before I do, because I will clean them out.
Oh, he just put on his Herfcast t-shirt. Look at that.
Oh, I've been wearing it every day since I met my dearest friend.
Is that a game worn Herfcast? Is that game worn by Brian?
He signed it for me.
Is that why you're wearing it?
He signed it right in the armpit.
He wears it and then he puts it in a plastic bag.
Mails it out.
Percent.
Still got some of his essence in there.
Right. But as far as a leaf scale for this one, wait.
Make sure you think about it.
Don't just throw numbers out there. All right. Ruin the sanctity of the whole segment.
Give it to us good. Pause.
4.85.
Whoa! Highest score ever on the humidor.
This cigar is it hits every.
Now that's out of 5, right?
That's out of 5. 4.85 out of 5. It hits every. It checks every box, and it checks it well. Pause. It's not like oh, I don't like this or that. The only thing I wish it could be a little. It could be a little stronger. It could be a little stronger. Pause. But that's it. I mean, you can smoke the cigar with coffee in the morning. You can smoke the cigar after a steak dinner when you're having a whiskey or brandy or something like that. You can smoke the cigar with a mixed drink while you're podcasting. I mean, it's a
wild radical idea.
A Swiss Army knife. The only thing I wouldn't do, I would not pull this cigar out unless I really had the financial resources to do so. I wouldn't like be, cutting the grass and smoking one of these cigars, or putting something together in the garage and smoking one of these cigars, because it's better than that. You know what I mean? It's better than that. This is a great cigar. Great cigar. I'm definitely going to be restocking and looking forward to further releases.
All right. Well, further releases it is. So a 4.85 new high score from Voice from the Underground, the soon to be renamed Voice from the Underground, but Haas's Humidor, I believe, will probably stay the same name. It's not going anywhere except to its own individual stream at some point.
The humidor that Haas built.
The humidor that Hussein put together on his own. All right, so I have another funny little thing to show you kids.
Uh-oh. Let's talk about his penis.
Yeah.
Oh, kids, girls, no, retract it.
Buzz.
All right.
So yes, this guy.
Look at this level. Look at this level. Look at this level 20 neck beard.
God,
okay.
dude.
Jebediah.
Jebediah, what are you doing?
So this guy is one of the guys who is, of course, he's one of Mikey's guys. He's an Antifa member.
He's a Mennonite, is what he is.
Even Ezekiel said that my mind is blown. So, I do want to play that Amish Paradise song when I look at this guy. So this guy made a series of bad decisions today. The first decision, I don't think I'll shave this morning.
He did shave.
He only shaved the top of the beard, though. He forgot.
Right.
To shave. I'm not sure he can grow. So is he a toddler? I mean, I think he might be a toddler.
That's
like a tall toddler.
You know who that is? That's Philbo Baggins. That's Bilbo's cousin.
Yes, he's not wearing
just
shoes.
like one of them little hobbits.
So people are saying that his shirt looks new, so he must be Antifa. But anyway, so he first decision was, I'll go out with my beard like this. Second decision was, I think I'll leave work and go bust into the Capitol. Third decision, bad, was, I think I'll let someone take a fucking picture of me as I'm in here. But the worst of the worst decisions, as you can see, and this is the crazy part, I think I'll wear my Navistar company swipe-in card around my neck, and I'm not going to even bother to turn it around. Cue the music. Real man of genius. Here's to you, Mr. Babyface Capital Raider.
Oh. No. You gotta get down. Give me a Cole Sports Dutch. Get down deep in you. So relax your shoulders. Get way down.
All right, Haas, think of what.
No.
Think of yours. Here goes Mikey. Go ahead and give it to us. Real man of genius.
Here's to you, Mr. Neckbeard Hobbit looking motherfucker.
I gotta go back to lunch.
Wearing my ID tag on the while I'm
punching in.
All right, Haas, here you go. Here's your cue.
Real man of genius. Here's to you, Mr. New Shirt, New Hat, Badge Wearer.
Mr. My whole fit is
I'm on the no-fly list.
I'm really Antifa.
Ooh, I need a 2000 stimulus check.
And by the way, that hat, not new. That hat has been through the wars. You can.
I wonder if he wears a beard.
Kind of tell. What
is the hat over his hoodie?
I think so.
Yes,
I think so. He's got
he's that guy.
He's got the homeless man look going.
All right, I don't want to.
Does he wear a beard bonnet? You think
his beard is braided into two braids?
Beard bonnet. I'm mad at you for bringing that up. I thought about buying one too. I'm like, yo, I could have used some extra moisture on my beard at night.
You gotta put that Duke texturizer in there and put that beard bonnet on.
No, I'm about to get 360 waves in my beard. Y'all about to be sick out here. Y'all about to be sick.
Tidal wave, bitch.
So I don't like to bring down legends, but do y'all remember that? So this is probably like 8 years ago now, but Eddie Murphy put out a single with Snoop Dogg in it when Snoop was Snoop Lion. You remember that?
Who?
Eddie Murphy.
He sang again after that.
Yes.
My Girl Likes to Party All the Time.
It's actually a really good song. It's like
Really?
kind of like a reggae joint. It's really, really good. But my man was sitting there. He had
Wow.
like a sleeveless hoodie, right? Which is swaggy. That's cool.
That's cool. Whatever.
But he had his ears stick, like he put the hood behind his ears.
Who?
Eddie, like
God.
homeboy right here. He had
that's what he's doing. He's got look, your hat's on top of your hoodie. Your ears are out front of the hoodie. Your beard is braided below the hoodie and cut at the bottom of your face. Look, the guy looks how he looks. That's not, but still, you're going to do this. He looks like he's 11.
This mug had it, and it looks like in the badge there, he's clean shaven too.
Yeah. Oh, he does look very.
How will anyone recognize him?
Wait, you remember
Right.
the
Hoodie
Georgia?
guy?
Remember the Georgia vote? Like when they were taking pictures of people's ID cards and changing them. That's not really him. He found that badge and picked it up because he wanted to get someone in trouble. No, but this guy has been fired. He's been fired from his job.
Oh no.
Have y'all heard of the people getting arrested at the airport?
But give us 1 second. Let's talk about Frodo for a second.
Frodo,
Bilbo.
You know, at some point, your overwhelming resistance to wear a mask.
Yeah, it works.
Today was not the best day to not do that.
The irony of it all they had to do was wear masks on themselves on their face to protect them from COVID, and they would never be able to be found. And they were so fucking rebellious. They said, "Fuck it, find me."
We're gonna be extra rebellious as we rebel. We're gonna be extra rebellious.
Extra, gonna go extra.
Now that's not all the fun here. That's not all the fun. Can you see my mouse? Right? Okay.
I see your mouse.
Look at this guy.
He's on his phone.
He's elbow against the wall, lean back, just chilling. Texting the wife, letting her know, "Hey, babe, what you doing? I'm still at work."
Right.
This guy at least had the good sense to wear gloves. But here's the fun part: what ghost does this guy see?
I don't know. He's got his hand behind him on his shoulder. Maybe
you know what it is. There's
the look in his face.
There's a mirror to the right of them, and he is just now catching the reflection of Frilbo Baggins.
Right.
He didn't know that he looked like that from the front. He's behind him, so we didn't know. So he's like, "What the fuck is that?" Oh shit! It'll hit. If there was a sequential picture, you would see the shock of him realizing that was the person in front of him.
He looks like he just got walked in on while he was masturbating.
Yeah, they're doing it behind him.
He's got the phone in his hand anyway with RedTube up.
Yeah,
you know, and he's like, "Oh, honey, I'm just shopping for a car."
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
you know these car sites always got to have an incognito tab
Right.
so they don't send me advertisements. You know how it is.
It's a pop-up. I was on cars.com. It's a pop-up.
It's a pop-up.
I don't know why XNXX popped up.
Watch this. Watch what happens here.
What's RedTube?
Yeah, you know, it's just hilarious. How do you not wear a mask?
You're raiding the Capitol, and they have cameras everywhere, and they still didn't want to protect themselves from COVID.
Even Wesley wore a mask when he was storming the castle.
No, that is true. Even Wesley.
Fezzik didn't, but what the fuck were they going to do to Fezzik?
They were like, "As you wish."
Right. And Indigo, of course, he wanted the guy he was only going there for one reason, to kill one guy. So, but you should have worn a mask.
Six-fingered men. Can I share a screen for 1 second? Because since we're in this,
you may.
We're a little
sharing is caring, baby. Upside down pineapples.
We're gonna do this. Nope. This one. There it is. Vogue. Let them know.
Remember when I said watch this? That's what I was waiting for, was him to change he gets so irritated when I put it on this view. Mikey just hates this view.
Because it looks like shit. It looks like shit, and it's not centered, and it sucks. See, look how Haas is. It's in the middle of his face. It sucks.
There. Now do you like it? Now do you like it better?
No.
Well, how about this?
I like having my whole background be part of it. I have a whole green screen. You know, some of us, me and Big Haas, we have green screens.
He just wants
we like to have our entire frame.
He wants to advertise his podcast. See, right now it just looks like you have a picture of your
whose podcast am I advertising?
Every other podcast but this one.
I don't know what you're talking about. I would never advertise.
You got a Joe Button cup on you too. I mean,
oh shit!
Look, man, I am very thirsty right now. I don't know why you would say that I am.
I think I'll have a cup of pens right now.
I have to think of something to write. But here, we've joked enough at everyone's expense. So you guys might recognize this, right? This is the Capitol building. This is from Google Earth.
ERF.
ERF, right?
Unclear on the concept.
So there's the Capitol building, and then the barricades were along here and around here. And then if you remember from some of the footage, they took those barricades and they laid them sideways, and people climbed a wall. Because for me, when I see something on TV, I want to go to Google Earth and I want to find it. Especially if I like know the location. Like I want to like give me the street view. Like let me see what actually happened. So if I pull, how do I?
Are you playing? I think you're going to play with the video game music. Please. Do.
No. I don't have that. I'm not going to do that. Can I go back? Okay. So that's this old boy right here. That's the camera I was just looking at. But this is like the main front entrance that everybody knows about with the very long steps. And there's like 100 feet, couple steps, 100 feet, couple steps, 100 feet, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. But this is like the back side here, or maybe like the more fancier side that has like the reflecting pool and like the big lawns and all that. That's where they came in for the little protest. And then some boys broke off to the left side. Just for context, y'all. Just for context. They broke off to the left, took them barricades, and they lined them up along that. I don't know exactly how tall it is from this level.
30
up.
feet.
So yeah, that looks like, oh, there's just little grates there. But no, those were like people were getting whole footholds in this. So it was like 2 feet between each one of these slats, right? And then that's when old boy turduckened himself in front of everybody. Like an absolute pillar in his community.
All right,
is he in critical condition right now?
Hold on,
he died.
He died?
I thought he did.
This is, I think, the different guy, and I can't play the sound on this.
You can't get oh.
So, but I'll do it. I'll do it for you with my mouth. Pause.
Whoa.
Okay. I'm kind of pausing here as I'm waiting for
Very giving. He's in a giving mood
to watch this. So this is I'll play the music. I'll hum the music as this guy goes through the video game. Here we go.
Give me your hand, Jasper. Give me your hand.
It's just fantastic. Let's just watch that one more time in real
amazing
motion. Here he goes. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
I got you.
Give me your hand.
Long live the king. Well, I mean, it's not funny to laugh at.
He should have took lessons from those illegal immigrants that they say are going to scale the wall at the border.
Well, apparently at the border, this is the only wall they need because that guy couldn't get across it. But you see, there's stairs right here.
Yeah.
He did not have to climb that.
Oh, it looks a lot stronger and tougher and American if you're climbing the damn walls of the Capitol.
And here's a little caveat. There's a narrative there's a narrative going around that they didn't breach the building because the police escorted them into the building.
And that tells you all you need to know about systemic issues here.
That's why I don't trust the police.
Right.
That's
hey, you know what? I saw a report where there were some police officers and members of the military as part of the rioters that used their badges and military identification to gain some passage.
Oh.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Fake news, dude.
It's like fake.
You are fake news.
Come on.
But I wonder which Blue Lives Matter right now.
Well, what was trending on Parler was defund the DC police, and the defund the Capitol Police was trending on Parler, which, by the way, brings us to our last topic of the day. So
they steal everything.
Wait, we got two more things to talk about.
Even
okay, what are they? What are they?
The things that people on the
left.
left.
We gotta talk about what you want to talk about, but I want to talk about one sports thing.
Even the things that the left hates that like when the left like shits the bed when it comes to fucking like branding or messaging.
Yes.
Yeah. They even stole that. Like just like the Black Lives Matter. You know what? All lives matter. Defund the police. Defund the DC police. They still can't.
Why? They let you in.
They can't come up with nothing. And this is Dexter for everybody who's watching the visual thing. He needed to be on camera or he was going to disrupt this podcast the entire time. He didn't want food, water, or toys. He wanted to lay with daddy. So
you don't have your very wet pussy like Ben Shapiro was ruining. No, you have your very dry pussy.
He's very dry. He's very dry right now.
Very dry hair. Very dry, hairy pussy.
Your pussy's dry.
I've got something for you.
Some hairy, dry pussy.
telling people who don't live in Chicagoland and aren't from Chicagoland about Eagle Man is the best conversation you can ever have because you show them the commercial like this is hot garbage.
No, it's not. It's the greatest commercial. One of the greatest.
It's the greatest because it's so bad. But
and everyone it's been on since God knows when.
If only there was somebody who could look that up.
The 80s, easily the 80s, or at least early 90s. But the all right, so Parler is no longer going to be available on iTunes or Google Play. Now I still have it on my phone, but Amazon basically gave them 24 hours. Gave Dan Dinga Dingo.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to say it.
Slamma Ding Dong.
1993.
Slamma Lamma Jamma.
1993 for that.
That fucking asshole. They took his 93 was the 93 was the Eagle Man commercial.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what. Next week we'll play the Eagle Man commercial for everybody. They're out of business anyway, so they're. But
are they really?
Remember and Jobo used to stump for them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And now you got Jobo. Are they still working?
I want Shaq to do the general. Oh, Eddie and Jobo of Eddie and Jobo. I want Shaq to do one of the general commercials with those slippers on. How you doing there, Shaq? How you like those? Oh, hi, General. I've got my slippers on. I'm good. But the so Parler was told by Amazon that they're got 24 hours to back up their data and get the fuck off the servers. So
that's very generous of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know something? Where were they when they were doing all of this? Damn, when these people were out there planning all of this. That's when they should have been like, we got to do something about this.
And just real quick, thank you to everybody who's commenting. I know we haven't been pulling them up on the screen because Mikey gets mad at me, but Pine Snake, Jenny Morgan, Doc Fearsome.
Hey, Jenny. How you doing?
Along with a few others are commenting out there. So thank you to everyone for your comments. We are seeing them.
Them my friends.
But but Parler, I lean towards not a fan of the overall banning of the app, but I understand why they did it, and I think that Parler was their own worst enemy here because they wanted to be a place where you could say pretty much anything. I mean, you couldn't use like the N-word on there, I don't think. But anything shy of that, I think is probably fair game on Parler.
Yeah, just say in star. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we showed Mikey and I when we podcast the other day, we were live looking at these comments. And now I understand it takes time to react, but Twitter allowed Hang Mike Pence to go for a little while. And they're trying to say the left is hypocritical about that because Twitter let it go for a while. But it's a very different thing to ban a trending term than it is to ban a person, which I'm guessing is one click of a button. But just if you could, your hot take. Let's try to, because we got to run out of time here. 60 seconds on Parler, Twitter, the ban, anything you guys want to say. We'll start with sipping Big Hussein over there. I'll play you a soundbite while you wait. Here you go.
I think
the media said what? Ha 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 ha.
All right, now you got your thoughts. Go ahead.
I think that when your platform is a breeding ground for acts of violence, things like that, when people are on your platform conspiring openly to commit violent acts and things like that, that puts you in that danger zone of your speech, while it is free, you don't want to be responsible. You don't want to be responsible for allowing a conspiracy or planning of violence against people. And if you look at a lot of their posts on Parler, there was lots of talk of violence against people, politicians.
And now, we put them on the screen. So this isn't like we're just saying this. The other day, you can go back 2 videos down on our YouTube channel, or maybe 1 video down. We had 1 video down, the longer of the 2 we did the other day. And look at that one. It's like 50 minutes. And we showed, how long did I have Parler up for, Mikey? 20 minutes?
Yeah.
About 15, 20.
Yeah.
There was crazy shit on there.
And then number 2, to piggyback on what Dutch just said, that was my second point. Yes, you have freedom of speech, but that does not absolve you of consequences.
Right.
Also, your speech, your opinion, or whatever, once you publicize it, prepare to defend it. Prepare to be criticized. Don't say, well, that's my opinion, and I'm supposed to accept that. If your opinion is flawed, I want to challenge it. I want to force you to support it. Why? Because if you just let people's opinions just fly and agree to disagree, I can agree to disagree with you about chocolate milk, but I can't agree to disagree with you on your opinion that, oh, well, this senator's head should be on a spike because he's gonna certify the votes in his state. So everybody out there, yes, you're entitled to your opinion, but remember, if you don't want your opinions to be challenged, don't publicize them. Don't put them out there on social media. Don't put them out there in conversation, because somebody like me is going to say, I don't think so. Here's why I don't think so. And I will proceed to give you the reasons and salient rebuttal. And if you're not prepared to do that, if you're not prepared to defend your position with salient information and not just your feelings, then maybe you should rethink your opinion.
So if I can piggyback on what you're saying. So you guys both have kids. I just have this asshole who decided he's going to ham it up on the camera and lay his head back because he's so deprived of love. Make me look like a bad cat daddy. But you
cat daddy.
Cat daddy.
Cat daddy Mac in the house.
But y'all have kids. So how often do the kids get to just, you know what? The rule is this now because I want to make the rule now. I'm making this rule and I'm making it, and I am a child that doesn't pay any fucking bills in this house. Does that fly?
No.
Okay, so Amazon and Twitter are their daddy. That's their house. That's the house that they built. You don't get to come in here. They're hosting your website.
Yep.
That's their servers that all that shit is run through. You want to do your own shit? Build your own fucking servers.
Build your own fucking servers.
You do not get to dictate what like if I have a pool in my backyard and I say, yo, no cannonballs, no splashing on that shit. We're just all chilling. And you come in here cannonballing left and right. And I say, yo, you're out of the pool. You gotta
go. You're out.
Oh, you just gonna tell me I'm not allowed to swim anymore? Oh, you can swim in your own damn pool. You can go swim where you want to swim.
But I don't have a pool. Well, then, capitalism, bitch.
Well, you should have thought about that before you kept on cannonballing after I told you not to.
Right.
This is childlike behavior that they're up to. And this whole, my dad hates me because he won't let me cannonball everybody. No, you don't want to follow the rules and you want to use somebody else's shit. Even
Right.
if you're paying for it, that doesn't give you carte blanche to make it yours. It's not your shit. It's not your servers.
No.
You're using someone else's
You're
servers.
still using somebody else's server.
It's exactly the same thing as if you were selling drugs out of an apartment.
What?
Right?
Oh,
You can,
oh.
but if you're selling,
Left turn.
no, it's the same exact thing. If I'm selling drugs out of an apartment, guess what the people who leasing the apartment to me can do?
Evict you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I have
Because if
every
they
right
know
to sell
about it-
drugs. Yeah, I'm breaking the
Because
law.
If I know about it and allow it to continue, what am I doing?
You're liable. You know,
That's
and
right.
that's the thing that people forget to think about when it's free speech, right? You have free speech to say whatever you want, like in front of a building, you know,
Right.
but there's still consequences there. But
Yeah.
look, news flash, Facebook,
This just in.
Facebook, Twitter, etc., MySpace, if you're old school, are not. You have.
MySpace.
That is not a platform for free speech. That is regulated speech because it's their platform. So they get to make the rules of what is free and what is not free there, and they are not held to the government, except for in a couple of cases where the Twitter profiles are used by the government, in which case the courts have ruled that it is designated as an area of public speech, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just like you can't come in my house and say certain things without me telling you that you're not allowed to say those things in my house. You have to go.
Right.
Okay. And then if you think about it, Apple, Google, whoever else makes phones, which is really nobody, they're a platform on top of a platform. So they get the right to say if Facebook even gets to be on their platform or not.
Right.
So we're not talking about a web browser here where it's and in some ways, I guess even Internet Explorer could take it off if they wanted to. Now, I would prefer to see that you have the arena to talk your shit, but because I do believe in free speech, but I also completely respect the right of the private business of your precious capitalism that has that you want them to have the right to be able to run their business as they choose, unless of course you don't like the way that they run it, in which case then you're going to say, oh, but government gives me the right to do this. Holy fucking hypocrisy, Batman.
Right.
Give me a fucking break.
It's easy to win if you play both sides towards the middle. Very easy to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not taking a real stance.
Hello, Wayne. All right. Last thing of the day, we got to get rolling.
Yes, I want to talk about what happened in Pittsburgh today.
Oh, wait, one quick thing. Will Trump be reinstated? I wanted to ask that.
Reinstated?
What are you
His
talking
Twitter,
about? What?
his Twitter account, will it be reinstated?
No.
Probably not. He'll probably have to create. He probably not.
They're not. They're done.
He'll be using Ben Carson's for a while.
Oh, the funniest thing though. Someone made a fake account. Someone made a fake account called John Barron, and it was a picture of Trump with a mustache.
Yeah,
we talked about Tom Selleck, right? They took Tom Selleck's mustache, put it on Trump, and they start this John Barron account. It was just a parody, and he goes, "Hi, I'm new to Twitter. What are you guys up to?
Doing?
30,000 followers and like a couple of." I'm like, why didn't I think of this shit? But then, of course, Twitter banned that because they thought maybe they're so stupid. They thought it really was Donald Trump doing it.
Yeah, you never know. You never know with that guy.
He's not clever enough to think of that. He doesn't admit to the John Barron thing in public. So anyway,
that was that fake name he used for like that that radio call-in interview.
The radio and the XFL.
Yeah, this guy's really great. He's fantastic.
He did about 4 sentences, completely dropped the accent, forgot he was doing it.
So John Barron, welcome back to Twitter. And John Barron Jr., Big Hussein, what did you want to say about sports? The sports.
I wanted to talk about
Lamar Jackson.
When you remember in the movie Friday when Craig was getting his ass whooped by Debo, and the whole movie Debo was just doing whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, to whoever he wanted. And he even,
rest in peace, by the way.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Zeus died.
Yeah.
So, for a very long time, Pittsburgh Steelers have been Debo.
Yeah, and they got
and
Debo.
Today, Remember the second half of the fight between Craig and Debo?
Come on, Craig. Get up, Craig. Come on, Craig.
Use these. You got to get in there with these, boy.
Cleveland picked up a brick in the first quarter and smashed Debo in the head.
Hey, yo, Craig a bitch for that. I just realized that.
Yeah.
That's a bitch move, Craig.
Hey, with a dude like Debo, you got to do what you got to do.
Look, man.
You got to do what you got to do. But they held on to win 48-37. I credit Pittsburgh for not going into the bag.
Yeah, I knew they were going to come back, didn't you?
Yeah,
though, like,
I knew they would come back, and I wish I would have been able to watch the rest of the game. But here I am with you guys because I love y'all so much. But
Have you lost your damn mind?
That ass whooping was a long time coming because the Pittsburgh Steelers have been bullying the Cleveland Browns for a very long time.
Yeah, it's a happy day in Cleveland.
Very long time.
And
this is their Super Bowl. They don't have to make it to the Super Bowl now.
No, they
last year was supposed to be their year of their coming out party.
Yeah.
But they had a shitty year last year. And I think the interesting thing to say is they've done this without ODB.
Exactly. I was just getting ready. That's you, motherfucker.
Old dirty bastard.
White man always stealing the black man's ideas. Yes, that's what I was going to say. It's very interesting that this all happened and they go on this run after OBJ goes down.
Yeah.
And that just shows
ODB. I mean OBJ. Yeah.
But you know what? That shows that Baker.
They did it without ODB too, by the way.
Yeah.
They didn't have either one of them on it.
Yeah.
Right.
They had neither of them.
But
I'm totally off script right now.
What this shows is that, in fact, there is a such thing as addition by subtraction, and there is a such thing as Baker Mayfield was trying to force the ball to OBJ. And
he's not that type of wide receiver. Like, you have that typical prima donna wide receiver. I don't think Beckham is that guy per se. He's never been he's nowhere.
If he doesn't get his targets, if you're not throwing the ball his way, he is going to pout.
He's like, but you don't hear him talk about it verbally like Chad.
No, but he acts out. He acts
Terrell
out.
Owens did.
He acts out and he complains. He complains and he acts out. And he's going to have to get over that part and understand that he's part of a team. No. And that the best way for him to be a winner on this team, as you can see, Baker's throwing it to everybody. And when you are a defensive coordinator and you have to defend a quarterback who does not have a favorite that you can just take away and he doesn't know what to do after that. When you've got a quarterback that can throw the ball to whoever's open, which is Tom Brady's claim to fame. He throws to who's open. And Baker Mayfield is learning that.
Yeah, that was Kyler Murray's problem this year is he kept trying to throw the ball to Hopkins.
Yes. And he has to understand that Fitzgerald still has some juice and John Brown is still good. And, some other, I forget the guy's name. Shit. I can't remember the fourth receiver's name. But he's
they utilize Chase Edmonds a lot out of the backfield, but it's gonna be an interesting NFL draft this year. I'm looking forward to that.
It's gonna be a very interesting NFL playoffs this year.
Yeah, deep draft, good playoffs coming up, and the Packers and the who's the other number one seed? The Packers and the Chiefs. The Chiefs. I kind of believe it's going to be the Packers and the Chiefs. I don't see Cleveland having a chance to.
All right, I got to ask a question. Who the hell is fake Rug 6?
I don't know.
I think he's talking about rugby. Yeah, I think he fat fingered it.
Oh yeah, he's from across the pond. So we're talking about el football americano here.
Yeah. Now I will say this though.
He's Welsh. That's where he's from. He's from
rugby. Is a man's game. I mean, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that.
Let's take off our shirts and go play rugby.
Rugby is fucking tough. I would not play rugby.
Wayne don't play rugby. Don't pay Wayne no matter. Wayne is a goal. Wayne is a goalkeeper.
If you don't play, call it a day.
He's a goalkeeper. So anytime
You know.
we say football, he's like, no, I play football. No, you wait for the football to come to you. All right,
Yeah.
let's be real about that.
Right.
Yeah, see, there, and he's
soccer
also a
is-
bad dude, like Corn Pop.
You know, soccer sucks. I'm sorry. It's just
I
too much
love
pointless.
soccer.
It's too much pointless running around, and then you're just waiting. It's like baseball to me. When you're watching, if you're watching on TV, it's boring as shit. When you're at the game, you're at the game, baseball's good, rugby's good, soccer
Hockey
is
is the
good.
best.
Well, rugby's good. Rugby's good no matter what. You can watch that shit because you know that there's a dislocation in every scrum. Something's getting dislocated. Somebody's getting knocked out. It's like football, American football, and wrestling put together. It's
I've
beautiful.
dislocated my penis bone.
Okay. Consult your physician.
I left it on the counter at home.
You over here sound like Prince Yeshua.
All right.
Yeah.
So last words to Big Haas, take us home for the
wait.
Oh shit. See, I hear I was hoping to keep us under 2 hours. Now you're gonna make me edit.
Shut him down. Open up shop.
Hey.
Jenny, you might be right.
So I know y'all don't love basketball, but I do.
Let's talk about it.
Who's winning this year?
Probably Lakers.
I haven't watched an NBA game in
Probably the Lakers.
4 years.
I think of it like this, man.
I think LeBron is cheating.
As long as Bron is healthy and AD is healthy, they'll probably win.
Yeah, I'm a college basketball fan,
and they got some.
I don't watch the
toughness
NBA
too. They got some real toughness when they brought Montez Harrell in.
Yeah,
so,
he's a dog.
Yeah, so I mean,
dog.
They toughened up some more. You still got arguably the best two players.
No,
two of the top 5 players.
Now, Haas, I don't like to speak ill of black men on the airways, but I'm getting about sick of LeBron. I had to give up I had a long-standing grudge against LeBron and any team he ever played on.
Why?
After he hit that corner fucking 3 for no reason and knocked out our poor little Chicago Bulls. We had our last chance. D Rose got injured right after that. I let that grudge go after Kobe passed because I'm like, yo, this is sports. These people are legends in the making, and I need to appreciate them while they're here.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm taking the rating down on this cigar.
You have to keep relighting it?
I keep having to relight it. 4.65. This is annoying. That's annoying.
So history was made and then unmade.
You get to the last third of this cigar, and I don't know what it is. This happened before too. That's why I'm doing it.
I had to take the rating down on the NBA because the NBA, the whole super teams thing that started, like I could tell you.
That's what I was about to. That's
every
exactly what
player.
I was about to talk about.
Yeah, I could tell you every player who played on every team and somewhat their stats up until really till Derrick Rose's injury. Honestly, that really pissed me off because he should.
And LeBron did that to us.
You know what grinds my gears?
Well, he shouldn't have been in the game. Well, they were playing the 76ers that game, so LeBron had nothing to do with that.
Yes, he did.
But, no, he didn't because they played the 76ers that game.
He told the 76ers to play us. He told
him to sweep the leg. He told him to sweep the leg.
He Cobra Kai'd it.
Oh, by the way, I will be on Jock and Nerd next week talking Cobra Kai. So I'm very excited. I hope you guys start watching it. In fact, they're at the end of maybe I could play that actually, but you know what? I'll play that for you guys next week.
You're distracting yourself, Dutch.
I'll play that for you guys next week. But at the end of last week's audio podcast is about a 4-minute, probably about 2.5 minute clip of just Johnny's best lines, and they're they're so great. They're so great. So you have to go
tune in.
But you want me to play that for you after you talk your basketball for a couple minutes? I'll play you the YouTube video, and then
I'm gonna binge it over the week so that I don't miss out on anything.
All right, super teams killed it for me. Go.
So, Haas,
yes,
LeBron is cheating.
How?
he has everybody who's good on his team except for like 4 people, and that's because they play the same position. He's cheating.
How's he cheating?
He's ruining the game, Haas. I gave up the grudge because I felt terribly about holding a grudge against LeBron. I'm like, oh my God, if that would have happened to LeBron, what a dickhead I would have sounded like for all the fucking hot takes I had about him. But he's kind of breaking the game, dude. It's not fair
I don't
anymore.
know that I agree.
No one can defeat them.
Nobody defeats us.
Like, I mean, Jimmy Butler made his stand, but fuck Jimmy Butler because Jimmy Butler is toxic.
Oh, I forgot about the goddamn Heat.
The Heat ain't gonna do shit because Jimmy's gonna fucking scare everybody away unless they play exactly the kind of basketball that he plays. He thinks he's Michael Jordan, but he's not. You can't just run 1,000 miles per hour into all your teammates' faces. A lot of them don't give a fuck about you, and especially when you just got here. So
you know what? Though they liked him.
They liked him this year, but let them miss one shot, and then he goes off in the locker room. He's like, you know what, this Jimmy dude. But it's the same thing for Russell, and now Harden. I think there's a lot of, and maybe that's LeBron's fault too. I'm blaming that. This is a blame it on LeBron segment.
Okay,
I think he's kind of responsible for a lot of this because a lot of people are teaming up together to just try to defeat his super teams. And they're not compatible players. Like Russell and Harden should have been unstoppable.
But they're not compatible with each other.
But the team got put together anyway because you have to do something about the Lakers.
True.
You have to do something. But I'm a Milwaukee's fan from now on. Sorry, Chicago, you lost my support. Milwaukee has a better stadium, better prices on their tickets, and they have Giannis Antetokounmpo, whose name I have learned how to pronounce.
Isn't his brother on that team too?
He is. Not Atlas. They all have super Greek names.
Well, because they're Greek.
He is the Greek freak. It's Giannis. Somebody help me. Google. Hold on, I'm Googling it. What do you think about Lonzo or not Lonzo? LaMelo Ball. Big Haas.
I haven't watched him. I haven't watched him yet.
He just had the youngest triple double or something like that yesterday.
Youngest player to ever get a triple double.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, and it is very rare that I ever.
Wait a minute. What kind of triple double was it? Was it 12, 10, and 10?
I don't know.
It was like 26, 12, and 11.
Oh, that's respectable.
That's a triple.
That's
double.
Respectable.
We can't.
Yeah.
It's not 11, 11, 11. You know.
Yeah. I can't diss that.
He got that.
So is this the one? Is this the one who? This isn't the one who got kicked off of UCLA, right?
That's Jello. That's the middle brother.
That's
Lonzo.
That's LiAngelo. That's LiAngelo.
That one never played in the NBA, right?
He's in the G League right now.
Yeah.
So Lonzo went to UCLA. He's the oldest, and then Jello went to UCLA, got in trouble. Now he's in the G League. And Melo was the one that his dad took overseas into Australia and all that shit.
Right.
And then he got drafted second, third overall.
By who?
Without Hornets. Michael Jordan picked him up.
Oh, okay. That cat is going to get killed. I'm going to kill that cat.
I don't know what he wants. He just wants
to beat that pussy up. Beat that pussy up.
But
that trick.
But I can honestly say, as much as his dad is annoying and his brothers are kind of underperforming.
Oh, his dad is the Black Trump.
Yeah. He said he could fucking beat Michael Jordan one-on-one. Get the fucking boy, man.
Stop. You remember what happened to Corey Benjamin when he said that?
Oh, he got embarrassed. That's one of my favorite clips.
Have y'all seen the video of Dwayne Wade beating his son down in basketball?
Did Zaire think he was going to talk that shit?
Yeah, they was talking trash too, and he was telling them, he was giving him man lessons. When I talked to Rocco a lot in Camden, I'm giving you man lessons, and he was telling them. He said, "Do you want me to just let you beat me?" He said, "If you're gonna beat me, you gotta beat me. Ain't nobody gonna give you nothing in this life."
Oh no! Don't give him the. He was
talking, and he's backing him down as he's talking. You gonna beat me? You gotta beat me.
Oh no! Not from the elbow. Not from the elbow. One leg up, Dirk Nowitzki style. That's not right. Don't do the boy like that.
And then after Dwayne beats him, they're sitting over by the weights and stuff, and Zaire and his son still talking trash.
Yeah.
And he's like, but you didn't beat me though. It'll come a day, but you know something? That's what you can't coddle these kids, man. You can't coddle these kids.
I get labeled the worst person ever because I work with a lot of teenagers with my job.
Yeah.
And I do not let them give me excuses. I do not let them be lazy. You will not show up late. You will not show up with your uniform messed up. You're going to show up and you're going to do it, and you're going to do a damn good job of it. And when you do that, I'm going to shower you with praises and buy your lunch and anything I can think to do for you. I will set you up for success. I'll do all those things for you, but you will not be lazy. Because if you're going to be lazy, you're going to hate me. And and I think
you're going to disrespect me too.
And I think Melo, I think that's his. He's arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little cocky, but he's a rookie. He's supposed to be. He's LeVar's youngest son. He's supposed to be.
Right.
But with the no-look passes, getting triple doubles, actually playing defense, gelling with his team. Like Charlotte has I forgot Gordon Hayward is on Charlotte.
Yeah.
They got 3 or 4 good dudes down there. I was like,
switched over.
I was like, oh, okay, y'all got a little team down there, down in Charlotte. Down in Charlotte doing a little something. It's
I'm glad they changed their name back, though. That was
from the Bobcats. That was a stupid name.
Yeah, well, they had to take the name back from New Orleans. Pelicans is like, it's never really sat well with me.
Is it a lot of Pelicans in New Orleans?
Yeah. On the Gulf, yeah.
Yeah, but still, that's the best you could do.
I think they should take the Jazz away from Utah, and Utah should be like the salt bricks or something. I don't know. Give them the mountaintops.
The Mountaineers.
You know what? Because Utah is definitely not known for jazz, but New Orleans definitely is. So they need to do they can be the fucking Utah Pelicans. Fuck it. Who cares?
We're the polygamists from Utah.
Right.
The Utah Mormons.
All right. So
the Utah multi-wives.
You want to do you want me to play this video first? You want to do Haas take us? Let's play this video first. I want to play this video first for you guys.
Yeah.
So this is
so much for democracy.
This is my so much for democracy.
The Utah door knockers. Thank you, Pine Snake. Well,
this is Cobra Kai. Now again, I'm playing the audio from my soundboard. No, it's not really. It's just a YouTube video. It's 2 minutes of one-liners. So it would be like if I gave you one-liners from Tropic Thunder or something like that.
Or The Office. That like ruins the moment, though.
I'll juggle the balls.
But then when you see them in context, they're still funny.
Okay.
So this is it's the sound's not gonna be perfect because I'm gonna try to hit play on the. I remember the audio source is not coming from the video source like it was with Shaq. So here we go.
Yeah, asshole. I clicked all the buttons. I still can't find the internet.
I've tried connecting to the Wi-Fi.
Obviously. What's Wi-Fi? You're being a pussy, and you don't want to be a pussy. You want to have balls.
My guidance counselor says that certain words perpetuate the sexist worldview that can trigger.
Quiet! Hey, brohead. You score those hot babes? Try karate.
There's a girl at school.
She hot?
And she's super smart.
Hot?
Funny and cool.
Hot?
Yes, she's hot, super hot.
Nice.
I've seen her on Facebook.
What's a Facebook? Have you seriously never owned a computer before?
Yeah, I'm not a nerd. We do not allow weakness in this dojo. So you can leave your asthma and your peanut allergies and all that other made-up bullshit outside. Is that understood?
Come visit any of our locations in Tarzana, Woodland.
What are you wearing? Are you gonna teach me about fashion now? I'd have to.
Nice shirt.
Thanks.
I'm joking, it sucks.
Back in my day, if you wanted to tease someone, you did it to their face. These geeks hide behind their computers. What a bunch of spineless losers. Move, stupid arrow. Bullshit. Oh, shit.
So if you get pissed off, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go down there and beat their asses.
No. What? No, that's not what I meant.
This one time, this kid in my class was texting on his phone. Mm-hmm. So I body slammed him to the mat, flying elbow to his teeth. All your lives, you've been avoiding fights, so you don't break your nose or lose a tooth. This concussion nonsense.
Please join me in a moment of silence as we strive to end intolerance in our time.
Kick that pansy bitch in the face.
We combat all institutions of oppression, runaway capitalism, climate change denial, the patriarchy.
I hate the Patriots too. Listen, why do you say we quit the chit-chat and hop on my challenge? Don't give me this sexist bullshit, right? I'm just saying women aren't meant to fight.
Why not?
Same reason there aren't women in the army. I like muscle cars, martial arts, an Iron Eagle. An Iron Eagle too. Why aren't you texting this down?
Just signed up on the Facebook. It's an app on my smartphone.
I guess you couldn't hear me over that trash in your boombox.
That was a boombox.
The hell's that thing on your face?
The doctor said I could be on the spectrum.
I don't know what that is, but get off it pronto. All right?
No, we accept boys and girls.
Gender what? Put one of those hash browns at the end, like hash brown team Cobra Kai or something. And then send it to the internet.
You can't. The guy is so fucking politically incorrect. It's just fantastic. So, there you go. Oh, there's our logo. All right, Big Hussein. You've got the floor to take us home, you asshole.
Okay. So, the events of last week.
All right, that's all our time for today. Yeah.
I understand you're upset. I understand that you feel disenfranchised. I understand that you're angry. I understand that you feel like nobody's listening.
I understand it's snowing in your house right now, by the way, too.
That you're angry. Shut up. And it's only been how many months? Since November. 2 months.
2 months.
Welcome. Welcome. Dave Chappelle said it best on Saturday Night Live. Come get these lessons. It's been a couple months and you're already storming the Capitol. But you get mad when people undergo and are subjected to years and years of brutalization with no consequences. Nobody listening. You send emails, you do sit-ins, you march, you
boycott,
you kneel, you block a shop, you block the highway, just standing there peacefully. You do a die-in, you do sit-ins, you do a stand-in, you chant, you sing, everything. Nobody listen. And then as soon as the straw breaks the camel's back and there's a riot, then you say, oh, there has to be a better way. Hey, guess what? Capitol rioters, there's got to be a better way. After 2 months, after 2 fucking months, there's got to be a better way, huh?
They couldn't take it for 8 weeks. Oh, 9 weeks. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say it. If we took your body, we took your mind and your consciousness as it stands right now and transferred it into the body of a black, gay, immigrant, Muslim person, you wouldn't last a week. You wouldn't last a week. You're spineless. You're so used to having your way. Any obstacles thrown in your way, you lose it. Look at you at the Capitol.
It's our house, though. It's our house. We own the house, she said. Remember, Susan?
It lasted 9 weeks. And guess what? Here's the thing.
It's not a felony, Susan said, remember?
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You acted out 9 weeks later, but you planned it ever since the election was announced. You planned it as he was losing. You were ready to riot and stuff then. But you just said, oh, we're gonna plan on it. We're gonna create our own we're gonna go over to a whole nother social media platform so we could talk shit and plan and talk about all the havoc we're gonna wreak. And that was mere weeks after the election was called. You couldn't last. And you talk so much stuff about how tough you are and how strong you are and how America you are and how much of a rugged individual you are. But what did you do? You lost it just because you lost an election. Welcome. You only got the smallest sliver of a taste of what marginalized communities have gone through for generations. And you couldn't make it 9 weeks. But you guys are the strongest ones. You guys are the superior ones. I don't think so. I don't think so, because you couldn't make it as a member of a marginalized community. And that's why you're so afraid. You're afraid because you are scared that once you all become the minority, that you're going to get treated like you've treated the minorities all these years.
Oh, no.
That's what you're afraid of. You're afraid of that. You're afraid of being oppressed as you have oppressed. You're afraid of being brutalized as you've brutalized. You're afraid of visiting violence on people as you have. That's why you're scared shitless. And that's why you acted out like you did, like a toddler.
Hit dog a holler.
But you know, the funny thing is, just to jump on that real quick, they were so happy to brag for the first 3 weeks about how this is how you protest. This is how, see how we're even cleaning up our own garbage because we're proud, hardworking, patriotic Americans who love this country and we're peaceful, honest folk. Emmett Tucker here. Let's run to the Capitol. And the cognitive dissonance of when they say they're not listening to me, like Susan said, we played it on the podcast for evidence. That's not just one person. It's hundreds of thousands of people saying this right now. So, yeah. And it's just, like I said, welcome to the party. So, you know, I'll echo what Todd says. I get the fact of how you feel. I understand the feeling. You feel disenfranchised. You feel marginalized. You feel unlistened to. You feel like something's happening and it's causing you to react this way. But for all these years, you fucking turned your nose when Kaepernick kneeled and you called him un-American. And you know what? I'm sorry, because I don't say this to every Trump supporter. This is not for every one of you, but for a whole fucking shit ton of you.
They are who we thought they were.
And I've been saying it for 4 years. And now
I wish I had a mic to drop.
I proved now you see that I'm sorry I told you so. Again, I'm not speaking to everybody. If it ain't Haas's favorite line, if I'm not talking about you, I'm not talking to you.
Don't fuck up my shit, man.
Right? So
if that shoe don't fit you, don't try to put it on and walk on it.
I will appropriate your shit whenever I feel like
do it the right way, man.
I tried to make it my own.
What can I say except you're welcome?
With the sun, the earth, the sky.
Here's the thing, dude. If it ain't your song, why you dancing to it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. So with that being said, closing housekeeping. Again, we are going to be changing some stuff around here after the next, maybe by the next show. Definitely, I'd say the show after that. It's going to take me some time to change the websites and stuff like that. So we're going to discuss, hopefully right now as we get off the air, a few ideas. But in the meantime, you can find us on youtube.com/voice from the underground media. The whole thing. youtube.com/voice from the underground media. Hit that subscribe button. And then you can also find our Patreon at patreon.com/VFU podcast if you want to support independent media. And on Twitch at twitch.tv/VFU podcast, or of course, you know, Facebook, etc. We are on Parler as well at VFU podcast, believe it or not. Although I don't think you reach
Dutch
it.
is on Parlor.
Yeah, I am on Parlor. So, and I need to go to the beauty parlor apparently as well. So with that being said, thanks for listening and go fuck yourself, planet Earth.